Hey, welcome to Command HQ. I just wanted to briefly update over a 15 or 20 minute period here before 6 a.m. and hopefully I can stream later tonight as well. I got tired last night and some things came up. So again, trying to get into a regular pattern of streaming every night at some point. Okay, with respect to this ruling in Colorado where the Colorado Supreme Court has taken Trump off the ballot, I have some just bare level analysis and documents ready to go, as well as the actual decision from the Colorado Supreme Court up. And I didn't do a deep dive on the 14th Amendment, which was adopted in the mid to late 1800s as a Reconstruction Amendment after the Civil War. And it was really a way for the country to stabilize itself following such a massive conflict. And it also wasn't applicable to the office of the presidency. And so there's a number of issues with the decision that came down from the Colorado Supreme Court, which is going to get appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. And of course, the Supreme Court is trying to take Clarence Thomas off these cases, including the presidential immunity case and the January 6th federal indictment against President Trump. And I am, more than anything, I am just scanning the internet, looking at comments. And, you know, I was thinking about just doing some streams on looking at comments from some of these articles and Reddits and 4chans and just regular traditional news articles to kind of give you an idea of a slice of what people are actually thinking. And if anybody is aware, there's been so many hit pieces written about me over the past 10 years that I'm used to the media misrepresenting my image and who I am. So that's another reason why I started streaming a couple years ago. And whenever I take a break, the same cycle happens where this mischaracterization and misrepresentation happens. So let's get to, I got this Colorado 4K ski vid going. All right, this is the actual decision that came down, and what is this, page 26? It's huge, very lengthy decision. Came out December 19th, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I don't know if they needed 213 pages to tell the American people that the Colorado Supreme Court is trying to make a choice for the entire country on who they can vote for, which is ridiculous. But what I found most disturbing, I think, about this entire decision is the fact that so I was reading comments. Let me just give a little bit of a perspective here. I was reading comments and someone said that they even tried to ban Colorado residents from using a write-in option for President Trump. So I was like, maybe someone's misreading the decision. So I went in and looked at it. And we got here where they put some language in here that says that even write-in candidates have to provide a, quote, affidavit that certifies the candidate's ability to run in that particular election. So it's a prior restraint on free speech, on political speech, not only against President Trump, but against any resident in Colorado who would vote for President Trump in 2024. And so obviously the Colorado Supreme Court is making a choice for the entire country on who they can vote for, but more importantly and more practically, how that impacts people in Colorado who would thumb their nose at the court and use this option to cast a vote as a write-in option for President Trump and saying even those votes won't count, which is, it's mind-blowing, really. Without doing some serious research on this issue, I'm sure there's not any large sampling of precedent for this particular issue, given a former president who is running for office and is a leading candidate again. So the other really concerning thing, and we're going on 8 minutes before I'm going to close this down at 6 o'clock here Central Time. The issue is that I've been talking to people in different countries, in Israel, in France. I've been talking to people in this country, younger people, and especially the younger men who are, by the way, a lot more alpha than I am. I've been, I'm very stubborn and I'm assertive in certain situations, but overall, I'm very like even keeled, I would characterize myself as. And the younger men who are really alpha males are very, very angry about what's going on in this country. And I think this decision where the Colorado Supreme Court is trying to take Trump off the ballot, given what's going around the country, where they're just trying to jail anybody who supports President Trump. I was, I'll just, since everything's coming out more now, and it was for 10 years ago, I mean, I've been constantly persecuted, rolling for 10 years. And so anything they bring up is just a continuation. There's nothing new. And that's not necessarily just because people are supporting President Trump. It's that they're tired of this police state in this country. And they're finally taking a stand, which is fantastic. Anyways, this write-in stuff, as well as if you look at the 14th Amendment and the Constitution itself, only provides 3 requirements for anybody who is a candidate for the office of the president, which is that, you have to be 35 years old, you have to have lived in the United States for the past 14 years, I think it's 14 years total actually, and that you have to be a naturalized citizen. So you have to be born, or you have to be born in the United States, or you have to be born from or actually just one American citizen now, actually, I think. This decision and the 14th Amendment and the Insurrection Clause not only do not apply to the office of the presidency, but they certainly have not used it appropriately in this decision that was just issued. And I don't know much about the Colorado Supreme Court, but this is wild. And another thing here is that at some point, especially in 2025, I mean, there needs to be some serious changes to these state court systems, that they're willing to uproot 80 million people who voted for President Trump in 2020, and likely more who will vote for President Trump in 2024. So some of these justices who use judicial immunity to steal the rights of hundreds of millions of people, there needs to be some serious accountability, whether that's through removal from office or through lawful prosecution. That's the only solution that I can think of at this point. All right. So any other news that I was thinking of? Let me just check here. Bear with me for a moment. I mean, it's just, this is all over the place, dude. It's been the front story for at least 16 hours, which is kind of unusual because usually these stories fade after a few hours. This is the start of something really bad. And the people that I've been talking to in Israel and France and Germany have said repeatedly that they believe this dual front war that we're seeing is probably going to burgeon into a more global conflict and even World War III. And not to say that one man or one movement can stop these conflicts or wars from combining into something larger. That's not true at all. I'm not saying that President Trump, if he wins in 2024, which I'm about 99% certain President Trump will, I don't think that President Trump by himself or any movement in this country will be able to stop it. But also at the same time, it's the only thing that I can possibly think of right now that would have any sort of dampening impact on a lot of this getting larger and larger and larger. And what you're seeing with oil right now with these Houthi rebels firing these missiles and drones at cargo ships carrying oil across the Suez Canal to get to Europe faster in order to increase the cost of everything in Europe, including food and transportation, everything else. That's a big deal. So I think if Trump was there, the first thing would be like, let's go in and let's make sure that these rebels can't limit the supply of oil that's passing through the Suez Canal. And that would have a major, major impact on reducing inflation and improving the economy. And the effects that would have on reducing pensions, would be tremendous. All right, so I'm going to shut this down. I'll try and stream later today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your days and great rest of your day and great holidays. See ya.
Thanks for watching Command HQ with Brock and Agent X. We'll see you next time.